I mean, you ain't gotta pay no price of buying no corners. Since when do we buy corners? We take corners.
Man, you won't buy one way or another.
Whether it's the bodies we don't lost, or you're gonna lose.
Time in the joint is behind us or ahead of us. I mean, you gonna get some shit in this game, but ain't shit for free. I mean, how many corners do we need? How much money can a nigga make?
More than a nigga can spend.
And then we ain't gonna be around to spend what we done made already.
Shit, I ain't think I can be alone this long.
Yeah. Well, we here.
Yeah. I know a nigga murked his own man cause he was fucking on his bitch. He got booked, now she's sick. She out here sucking all these. Told my young boy to chill cause he was hitting all these licks. Now he resisted, now we 6 feet. He was thinking with his dick. Better hearken, youngin' man. I'm dropping gems, they call me old school. Gon' fed on the gram and who you shot and who you gon' shoot. 600-page indictment, nigga, what you gon' do? Up top, what them life is, you don't fight, all you do is shoot. I know them crackers mad as hell because they wanna see us dead. Plotting our demise, holding counsel just to stay ahead. This one was, this forever. We gon' paint them nations red. If you not under this banner, then you all do's mad. Man, I'm from the trenches, they ain't know it, show us love. All we know is extensions and the way you throw a slug. We done made a move on you and we don't care who it was. On the gram, I saw my youngest send a nigga up above. You would've thought me and the squad was fatigued, how we run shit. Better yet, that saw block. Better yet, that saw strip. My general said if it's not one West, then it's not legit. Fuck every cracker, go to their grave and go and take a piss. Mama, I'm the Israelite, I'm pulling strings like Santana. Gotta keep the blitz because in that mix it get bananas. I adapted to it. Right before the skis and went bandanas. I'm the big bad wolf, come down your chimney like I'm Santa. Pussy niggas said that they was gon' slide, but they ain't do shit. Got a couple hammers in the ride, don't make me bang shit. Got a couple crackers on my mind, I'm trying to hang shit. Yeah, I'm in the field, I'm still pissed about the slave ships. Then y'all got some big shit to make a rain flip. This pump turn you to an acrobat with these backflips. Mom said 12s at you questions, but not say shit. Mom said don't neighbors at you questions, but not say shit. I'm true to this, ask your old head. I ain't new to this, I'm too legit. If one West world and we running this, I'm gunning it. Advise every cracker to be intelligent, irrelevant. For all them fake cans that we ain't marching with. This clip that I got like holy water, I'm trying to throw it on you. You pledge your allegiance to them snakes, they turn for you on you. Pillhead / crash dumps, I keep it real with you. You told me you don't trust none of them niggas, and that's a real issue. I don't give a fuck, you wantin' beef for what you all did. Just before they signed the same words that Paul said. Clip full of racist motherfuckers, it got bald heads. This shit that I got dumping in your ears like some skull heads. Why you trying to claim the same right that your man's did? Y'all was sign lacking, main reasons why your guys dead. Always gotta keep one in the head before I go to bed. Fuck a DJ Khaled, this one West, this what God did, nigga.
One West world. Nah, we coming, nigga. Not tripping. Tighten the fuck up, you heard?
One West world.
This one West world.
I guess I should ride with Lex.
They talk about man. All is all. Yo, it's about time, so no pressure to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to dawn, right, get another legacy.
If I do the shit, when I do it carefully. You can lose
everything you own over jealousy. When I met her, I ain't never sweat her, I just let her breathe. See you down, keep my foot on you, that's not my pedigree. At your throat, I done took her over, I pray I never leave. I'm a different guy, you're surprised, tucked in my sleeve. Boy, you fucking stupid, soldier seat for some bloody beef. True nation, cut the conversation, better keep it brief.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
It's about time, send the curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Fusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. It's about time, send the curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Fusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. They don't wanna know, we tell them, they just won't believe. It's about the journey, I ain't worried, moving at my speed. Saying we ain't much to be desired, gotta disagree. Sorry, one of mine, then we spinning like rotisserie. Go against the odds, I'm ready, it's another victory. Cut different, niggas moving foul, where the referee. Moving like the military, something they ain't never seen. One West world for the people, this is what they need.
It's about time, so no curses to our enemies. You can try to run where you going, it's your destiny. You gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
It's about time, send the curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Fusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy. It's about time, send the curses to them enemies. You can try to run where you going, this your destiny. Fusion gotta fall, never rise, that's the melody. What you get to witness, the beginning of a legacy.
I guess I should ride with Lex.
Hey, Shalom Israel. It's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. I'm Precinct Officer Tapazar. I got Precinct Officer ABR by my side. This is the Isupk Killeen Brotherhood class. Let's go ahead and clap it up. With that, I want to say Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatham to the brothers, and Shalom, Yahweh Shemal Atham Ba Shem Yahushua to the sisters. As always, I hope you came with questions. If you got any questions, you know what I'm saying, just go ahead and put them in the chat. We're taking all questions. If you got questions, the ISUPK or the Commander General Yohana has answers. And I do have a topic for today. It was a topic that we had from the last, I think it was a few weeks ago, class I had. We never actually got into the topic. We got hit with a whole bunch of questions, which is a great thing. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're here for, is to answer questions, but I never got a chance to get to the topic, so that's what we're gonna do today. If there's any questions, go ahead and post them in the chat. If you are watching in the class, go ahead and make sure that you signing in. Make sure you liking the class and sharing the class, okay? You know what I'm saying? So as many people as possible that need to hear and see this, you know what I mean, truth, you know, get to lay their eyes on it. You know what I'm saying? So with that, any questions? ABR, you said you had a question?
Come on, sir. So if I could, sir, I got a question about Ezekiel 23 and verse 3. More specifically, what does it mean about what their breast was pressed and they bruised their teats of their virginity? So I'm gonna start at Ezekiel 23 and 1.
Hold on, let me get there with you. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 23 and verse 1. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, there were two women, the daughters of one mother, and they committed whoredoms in Egypt. They committed whoredoms in their youth. They were their breasts pressed. There were they breast pressed, and there they bruised the teats of their virginity. Okay, so first, give me the definition of teats. I think I know what it is. I think it's the same thing. But I think I'm aware of what teats are. I think that's a term that they use still with like farming when they're like milking like goats or cows, the teats. But we'll find that out. But let's deal with the first verse. Read it again. Sir. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, there were two women. So the Lord is giving Ezekiel a parable, right? So he's saying, he's talking to Ezekiel and saying that there's just two women. Go ahead. The daughters of one mother. The daughters of one mother. So it's two daughters coming from one mother. Go ahead. And they committed whoredoms in Egypt. Now this is Ezekiel, right? So now who do you think that the Lord is talking about right here? He's talking about the northern and the southern kingdom as far as the daughters. Right, exactly. Being the daughter of one mother, meaning the nation of Israel, but it's Judah and Ephraim. Okay. And they committed whoredoms in Egypt. So what's that talking about? They went at serving other gods. Right. Or either relying on Egypt as a power and not the Most High, or they began to take on like the abominations of Egypt. All the things that the Lord told us not to do when we left up out of Egypt. Because he said, like what you learned in Egypt. So 90% of what the Lord told us not to do was what we had learned in Egypt. So, you know what I'm saying? So keep reading. They committed whoredoms in their youth. Right? Go ahead. There were their breasts pressed. And there they bruised the teats of their virginity. Okay. So now, what does teats mean? Okay, teats means, the definition of teats, the protuberance through which milk is drawn from an udder or a breast. That's what I said, right? I said the farming, didn't I? Right. So I remember. So now you got to think about this, like how the Lord look at it. Basically saying it's like right now, like, you know, young girls get on Instagram and they get out here, they're young, and they don't realize like their value. They think like how General Muhammad was saying that their value is in their butt. Not realizing that their value was in what's in here, right? And them developing skills, abilities. I think I seen a brother. Maybe I'm tripping. Okay, no sweat. I thought I saw a brother. Yeah, he is there. Kerry can get it. Yeah. Most High Christ. So, a sister will a young girl sometimes like they'll put more value in their body than they do in like what's in their head, right? And so the mistake that young sisters will make sometimes is the mistake that they'll make sometimes is that they feel like the attention that they get from men, right? That's what validates them. So they'll go out seeking validation, and it all stems from insecurity. Right. Girls who dress provocative, and like I seen a Instagram post today. It's like a TikTok video or Instagram post, a reel, and the sister had to be like 43 years old, 45, but she was very, very shapely. And then on the video, she was like, when I don't have nothing to do all day and I'm bored, me. And she's just looking at her behind in the camera and dancing for the camera. Like basically saying, I'll find something to do. I'll do this. Right. Like that was like the height of her productivity, was showing her behind to, 10,000 viewers on social media. And this is what the thing is that most women, a lot of times they tell us when we're young that women mature faster than men. And they say that because it seems as if women care about relationships, family, and children, but that's not the truth.
women after a certain point never mature because they're concerned about the same things 80% of the time that they were concerned about when they were 16.
Right.
When you hear a 40-year-old woman talking about there's no good men, they were saying that when they were in their 20s.
Mm.
You know, so going into their 30s, 40s, 50s, and they're still worrying about what? Going out, having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Even when you watch like the videos with the balloon,
Right.
the balloon pops. These I watched one the other day, and all the sisters were about going over the age of 40, and they sounded like 20-year-olds, meaning that that everything was about what was happening to them, not about the accountability of their decisions.
Right.
Now, why am I saying this? Well, the scripture says that their breasts were pressed and the teats of their virginity were bruised. This is about their nipples, right?
Gotcha.
Meaning that they've been handled.
Mm.
The thing that nobody was supposed to see, that only one man was supposed to see, a lot of men have seen it. And now they've been handled roughly for so long, it's like they're bruised. I mean, it's kind of like, I hate to say it, you know, when your knees got carpet burns,
Right.
you know, it's just like it'd be like saying, oh, yeah, you see her knees, she got carpet burns on her knees.
Right.
That's what it's saying. It's like she didn't been ran through.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Or like, you know, back in the day, other example, I never was into that, but the hickey thing for a while. They're younger now. They probably ain't doing that. But in the 80s and the 90s, a girl will mark a boy, or a boy will mark a girl with a hickey.
Right.
It was a way of like saying she's mine, all right? She's been dealt with.
Right.
It's a way to ward off other brothers and sisters trying to get at the, you know what I'm talking about, Carrie laughing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about. So they put a hickey on their neck.
Right.
Now for us charcoal brothers and sisters, that might not work. You know what I'm saying? Us of the, you know what I'm saying, the darker side of it. But anyways, it's just basically the Lord is saying that you were handled, and you were handled. I know that you've been serving other gods by how much you've been ran through.
Mm.
That's basically what that's talking about. Like your read again.
Sir. There were their breasts pressed, and there they bruised the teats of their virginity.
Right. That's where they basically they exposed their nakedness, and they gave up the thing that was sacred, which was the fact that they were chosen by the Lord and they went to serve other gods. So that's, and if you keep on reading, you know what I'm saying, he tell you who he's talking about. Just go down to verse. Just read down to verse 4, I guess.
Verse 4. And the names of them were Aholah the elder, and Aholabah her sister.
Right.
And they were mine.
Basically, the Lord saying he had two wives.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they were sisters.
Right.
Like these two sisters were my wives. Go ahead.
And they bare sons and daughters. Thus were their names. Samaria is Aholah, and Jerusalem is Aholabah.
Right. So Ephraim they call Ephraim the head of Samaria, meaning that was the land that the northern kingdom occupied. Right. And Jerusalem, where the southern kingdom, Judah, occupied. Right. And if you read verse 5, and we'll end it with that.
Verse 5. And Aholah played the harlot when she was mine.
Right. Basically saying like she was a hoe. Like you was my woman and you was a hoe. But he's talking about the northern kingdom. Right. Go ahead.
And she doted on her lovers.
She doted. Look at the word doted.
Sir.
It's basically like a sister that need a whole lot of attention. You know what I'm saying? And then I think Commander General Yohana was talking about some. You look at that word doted, but Commander Yohana was talking about something about this called the black girlfriend effect or something like that, or the black wife effect, meaning that saying that how sisters who are dating white men now, they go to like it's like the shopping districts, like, you know, like the grocery stores, and like they'll have their hair disheveled, be like in sweatpants, sweat, you know, hoodie, looking disheveled. You know, black women for the most part, they want to look nice wherever they go, but looking kind of homely because they're saying that that's what attracts white men. But then when they get with the white men, they dote on them, meaning like they start getting them fades and haircuts. Like what was the dude that left old girl for what's the white girl? The white girl singer. What's her name? She's dating a football player now. Go ahead, sis. Travis Kelce. But what was the white girl's name? Taylor Swift. And you can get the mic sis if you want to respond. You know what I mean? Just you know, raise your hand. But but the water sis, I appreciate that. Exactly it. like the sister that was with Travis Kelce, he started getting like, remember they did the whole fade? Right. Then it hit the news like he created a new haircut.
Right.
My bro's been getting fades since like the 70s and the 80s. You know what I'm saying? But that they call that the black wife effect. You dig what I'm saying? To where she's looking down, but she takes all her energy and to make him look great. But then sisters won't do that to brothers that they with now.
Right.
Like they be like, you supposed to buy me this and buy me that. But when it comes to the oppressor, they start giving all they resources and funds. So what does doted mean?
Doted means to give a lot of love or attention to.
You see what I'm saying? And doted on her lovers. So the Lord's like, you went to these foreign, these heathens and doted on them, gave all your energy and attention to them. Right? Keep reading.
On the Assyrians, her neighbors.
On the Assyrians. So he's talking about nations.
Right.
Read.
Which were clothed with blue captains and rulers, all of them desirable young men, horsemen riding upon horses.
Just read verse 7. We'll stop there.
Thus she committed her whoredoms with them, with all them that were chosen men of Assyria, and with all on whom she doted. With all their idols she defiled herself.
So that's why you read further down, he talks about Egypt. It talks about, and they bruised the breast of her virginity. A young girl that is a virgin who hasn't been touched, there's no marks on her. But when you see these sisters that have been, you know what I mean, who these whoremongers who, let me tell you something, if you a pimp, the Lord's going to judge you. That's why the Lord say whoremongers are going to be judged. A monger is means to be you're in the business of. So a whoremonger is a man who's in the business of whores, meaning you prostitute women.
Right.
You understand? And you're going to be judged for that. But when you see these brothers who take our sisters and prostitute them, you can tell, look, now they might have on some skimpy clothes and have a shape, but when you get closer on them, you see bruises.
Right.
You see markings, because living that lifestyle, you're gonna they're gonna hurt you.
Right.
Everybody ain't gonna be a good trick and just have a transaction with you and it just go well and you just leave.
Right.
Some of them abuse you.
Right.
And that pimp, that whoremonger don't care about you getting hurt and you getting damaged. He sends you right back out there on that whole straw, on that strip, because why? All he care about is the money.
Right.
And Pimpin' Ken did a video interview on Breakfast Club, and he was talking about how he got assaulted when he was a little kid, but he was talking about how he dealt with his prostitutes, his women. And he said he couldn't have no heart. He couldn't have no sympathy. He said because for a woman to be out there on that strip, living that kind of lifestyle, what don't she have? Compassion.
Right.
And that's what Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we don't have on each other when we serve other gods and we whore on our power and we fornicate on our power. We don't have compassion for each other. And we're bruised. Our heart becomes hardened. You know what I'm saying? Like that brother that's out there on the Trump video. The one, it's crazy because he's out here speaking for Trump right now after he got, like the attempt on Trump's life. But this same brother, it's a video of him. Trump is walking by, and the brother's like, smiling. He a bald head, milk dud head looking brother, right? He put his hand out to Trump. Trump just bypassed him and shaking white man's hand. And he's like, his hand out laughing. He put his hand back, trying to play it off, right? And it's a video circulating of him getting embarrassed like that. And right now, after Trump was getting taken out, he didn't want to talk about, and I know the left wing is going to say that, what I'm saying isn't true, but America's not racist. And if you didn't believe in God before July 13th, you got to believe in God now, because the power of God saved Donald Trump. It's the same brother who Trump walked past and slighted him, didn't even shake his hand. You understand?
Right.
Doting on their lovers. You give all your energy and attention to the people, and all they do is abuse you. And then they pan to everybody in the crowd. Right. I should have got the video. I should have put that in my, I didn't know this was going to happen. It's the Lord. Right. Ain't no sweat. But yeah, man, that's all I was talking about. Like when you see a brother like that, we'll use the word coon. But his breasts are bruised. Like you can tell, like, bro, you for the streets. You out here being used up. You ain't got no loyalty to the Lord. You dig what I'm saying? But it's no sweat, man. But did I answer your question? No sweat. You got any questions, Art? Okay. No sweat. I think Sis had her hand. Maybe she's going to use the restroom. Let me see. Sis, did you have a question?
No, I didn't have a question.
Okay, no sweat. All right. Let's go ahead. Any questions in the chat?
Sir, no questions in the chat now.
All right, no sweat. Then we'll go ahead and get into the topic. It's the Brotherhood class, and today's topic is the law of a brother. Okay, and the law of a brother and is reincarnation in the Bible. All right, is there life after death? All right, and we're gonna get into that, man. You know what I'm saying? The Christian church teaches you that when you die, that's it. That you only get this one life. You die, and either you go to heaven or you go to hell. You know what I'm saying? That's how we've lived our lives. You know what I'm saying? With the fear of like, are we gonna make it to heaven or are we gonna make it to hell?
Right.
And all the while, you know what I'm saying, our oppressor is living how he want to live, doing what he want to do. And then what that does is it makes us put off the desire for justice. Because what you can say is, oh, the Lord gonna take care of it. They doing this wrong, but we gotta just take the wrong, and then when we die, the Lord is gonna deal with it. When that could be further from the truth, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It make you not even want to cry out to the Most High for justice.
Right.
Because it's like, well, either they're gonna go to hell or heaven. In fact, I've heard oppressors say that. Well, the ones who did it, they'll God will deal with them. You know what I'm saying? But you, like right now, do you know right now, if say you robbed some banks, right? You robbed some banks and you got away with it for a minute, and then you got arrested. But they never recovered the money, right? But say your children had like nice homes and you had bought the homes for them and stuff like that, and you know what they would do? They'd make you pay restitution, and they would sell the homes that your kids are living in. Because they found you guilty of bank robbery or theft or even embezzlement, whatever.
Right.
And like what's that one dude's name? The Wall Street investor. He had like a crazy name too. He sound like a scammer. Can't think of his name right now, but he basically robbed like a whole bunch of white folks out of their investments accounts.
Right.
I want to say Bernie something. I don't know. Anyways. He robbed them for like 400 million. It was like 450 million in damages. So he had mansions, he had yachts that belonged to him and his family. They took all that stuff and they sold it for him to pay restitution to the people that he robbed. So even if the children didn't do anything, right? They weren't physically responsible for the crime. If they benefit from a lifestyle from that, then they have to get what they have in their possession taken from them. You understand? And to pay back the people that was harmed, to restore, to repair. You understand? That's why when the conversation of reparations comes up with us, it's always, well, I don't think reparations is the answer. Why? Because that's how you know that those children who say we didn't have slaves, that's how you know, yes, you did. You know why? Because you're the children of the people that did the slavery, and you come back. And you want to enjoy the benefit of what you did when you was here from before. You don't want to give that up. Why? I mean, I put y'all in slavery. Why I want to reap the benefits of it? That's the whole point. So they bear witness to who they are when they say, "Well, we didn't do it, and why should we pay for it?" Because if they were really the ones that didn't do it, you know what they would say? You're right. We did have y'all in slavery, and we should sell everything that we took and give y'all free land right now.
Right.
We don't care if you're gonna mess it up and buy Escalades with rims, and it's your choice, because it don't matter. You suffered, we owe you. But when they sit there and say, nah, that's not on us. You need to get over it. You've already gotten a welfare and affirmative action. That's they telling you who they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Salakia. But let's get into this law of a brother though. And this law of a brother, it ties into reincarnation as well. But give me Deuteronomy 25 and verse 5. And if there's any questions in the chat, y'all go ahead and ask. You know what I'm saying? And we'll address them.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25, verse 5. If brothers dwell together.
If brothers dwell together, meaning that they live in the same, not necessarily in the same house, but have like, the brothers have land and they have separate homes, but they live together, meaning that they're on the same property. Like think about on the same land.
Right.
Go ahead.
And one of them die and have no children, the wife of the dead shall not marry out unto a stranger.
Right, meaning that if I live on the same land with my brother and he don't have any kids and he die, his wife is not supposed to go and marry a stranger. Now, this stranger don't mean like a heathen. That's
Right.
for in our culture, that's forbidden. So that's not what it's talking about.
Right.
It means to marry somebody that she don't know. Like some random Israelite can't just come and say, hey, I want to get with her. You understand? She's not to marry a stranger. All right, go ahead.
Her husband's brother shall go in unto her.
What does that mean? The husband's brother should go in into her. Vaughn, what does that mean? Give Vaughn the mic.
My brother Kerry said it sound like six.
Sound like it? Is it sound like it or is it?
Is it pretty much?
The mic, I
Concept.
So you said is what? Is it what is it?
Marriage.
It's sex. That's right.
Damn right.
So he's saying that the brother, and now this brother could have a wife and kids already.
Hello.
But if she don't have any children, she's not to go and marry somebody else. The brother's supposed to go and lay with her. This is the law of a brother. This is what the Lord ordered Israel to do. Let me tell y'all something. When y'all see the laws of God, this shows you the character of God, how he thinks about our people, and how he wants us to relate to each other. You understand? He did this with a reason. Keep reading.
And take her to him to wife.
To do what?
To take her to him to wife.
Now, you know what's so crazy? Right now, today, you know what a sister would say? That's disgusting. Ugh. I need somebody new.
Right. Good night.
But the Lord said, you're not supposed to go and get nobody else. You're supposed to get his brother.
Right.
We're going to find out why. Read.
And perform the duty of a husband, brother unto her.
To perform the duty of a, that's heavy. Read that again.
Damn.
And perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her.
Of a husband's brother. Did it say husband and a brother or a husband's brother?
Husband's brother.
A husband's brother.
Damn.
This is the duty. This is brotherhood. He needs to perform the duty. This is not about personal feelings.
Right.
This is about duty. When you in the military, you know about duty. Duty ain't about how I feel about this. It's a duty. And I'm gonna tell you something else. The sisters that were in this time, they understood duty. They based their feelings off of our culture, not as themselves as individuals. Well, I think this and I think that. It was about their thought process was based off the culture that we lived in, because it was honor and dishonor. It was inheritance and legacy and no legacy. So everything that we did was to either build our reputation, or if we didn't adhere to our culture, it would destroy our reputation or destroy our name. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Like to bring shame on yourself. And now you got to walk. See, nowadays, what can you do? You can leave your city and go move somewhere else and be a whole new sister. Sisters they be for the streets of their city, move across the country and be a whole new sister.
Right.
Got whole new standards. I don't accept any old kind of man, right? And you was out there for chicken McNuggets, you know what I mean, in the back seat getting down.
Right.
For some Wendy's nuggets, man. You know what I'm saying? It was at the 6 for 6, how that 4 for 4?
4 for 4.
Right?
Yeah.
You was like, oh, good, 4 for 4. He about to get it. Now you get over to LA. You came from Chicago or from Mississippi to LA. Now you talk about I ain't eating no what's the restaurant called? They said what's the name of the restaurant? Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, right.
Don't take no to Cheesecake Factory.
Right.
I got standards. I ain't finna settle for nothing. Brothers too. Brothers was getting chased off the block. You know what I'm saying? Running through the apartments, scared. Moved to another city. Now they gangsters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got choppers, man. You know what I'm saying?
Real
I got switches now. You a whole new brother now.
Right.
But in our nation, your name, you couldn't come into a place without having the record of who you were. That's why on Sabbath service we say present yourself in state thy registry, because your name is going to follow you. That's why I said it. That's why Solomon would say a good name is better than riches.
Right.
Because you can have money but be a sucker.
Right.
And we wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying? We didn't place value on you having money or having physical strength. We place value on, do you keep these laws? Do you love your power? Do you love your people? You understand? And this law was part of that culture. Keep reading.
Verse 6. And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother, which is dead.
Right. So the firstborn that she has will succeed in the name of the brother which is dead. This is the brotherhood that he's doing.
Right.
Because why? This brother was his brother. And now that he's gone without children, that means that his what doesn't he have anymore? What stops? Go ahead, Art.
Calling on one concept, the bloodline.
The bloodline,
Yeah,
nigga. That
right.
brother, man, that brother's spirit. Yeah. That's right. That bloodline, man. That line, his line ends. The record stops. So the most brotherliest thing that you could do is continue that line. And whether we understand it or not, this is tough. This is dealing with reincarnation because we come back and you're keeping that line going, his name going, right? So whatever inheritance that he was supposed to get, you've ensured now that he's going to get it. He's going to get it. Keep reading, now.
That his name be not put out of Israel.
Dang, you hear that, man?
Good night.
That's what the heathens are trying to do, right? That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. They're trying to wipe us out as a whole nation. So to not perform this duty, you have the mind of a what? Of a heathen.
Right.
Why would you not want your brother's name to continue? Go ahead, Art.
That sounds like to me like interracial marriage with our sister marrying man outside the race.
Man, let me say this, right? Well, see, it's the thing. There is laws that talk about where if there are no sons in the picture and there are no brother relatives to come in and do it, that the inheritance would go to the daughter, right? And then she would actually, by her marrying somebody else, will continue his line. But this is like an extreme case,
right?
Where there are no sons. But the daughters of Israel are the portal of our return.
Damn.
When a sister gets with a heathen, she is the portal for the heathen.
Good night.
She becomes the gate of the heathen. So now think about this. When the scriptures say that our gates languish, now that's talking about our leadership not protect, because a gate is for protection, right? A closed gate is for protection. And if it opens, it's to give people access to protection, right? To keep the people we want out, right, and to let those who we want to protect and keep safe in. When a sister gets with a person outside of our nation, she has opened the gates. With her being a daughter of Zion, she has become the gateway of the entrance of heathens to come through. Like basically, you know how like where say like in a castle, if like an enemy was outside of the castle and they're laying siege to the castle, right? And you have the archers on the walls, you have the gates up, right? You have the moat, and they over trying to like find a way in, right? And you know it's always a traitor because stuff's getting hard inside of the castle. Right. It's a dude or a sister like, man, I'm tired of this eating this nasty bread. We got to end this. And they go and open the door and let the enemy in. Right. That's the equivalent of that. Right. You understand? The Lord. Listen, man. Only our sisters, only the sisters of the 12 tribes are supposed to be with us and bring the chosen seed of God into the earth, man. That's why it's all that come through the matrix. That's what the Lord said, right? All that come through the matrix are mine. The firstborn are mine. Damn. So the Lord. Listen, if the Lord closed Sarah's womb, you think he's not thinking about who you're laying with? About who's coming through into the earth? I'm gonna leave it there. Go ahead, Art.
Verse 7.
That's the problem, though. See, we think we got like a personal relationship with God. You know what that means? It means that you a sinner and you feel like God knows your heart. But you know what it also means? You personalized your desires and made them God's will. Right? Like it's a personal thing. Like when we don't have a personal relationship with the Most High.
Right.
We serve him, we obey him, and we fear him. But that's it. And we pray to him.
Right.
So it's like he's a power. So we serve him, we obey him, we fear him, and then we send up requests. And then he just says, Khan or La.
Right.
And we deal with it. If we violate him, we get punishment. If we do the things that please him, we get rewarded. That's not a personal relationship. You know why? You know what parents say nowadays? When a child chooses in like y'all see this thing with D-Wade with the fingernail polish line?
Oh, come on.
Because he loves he loves doing fingernails with his daughter, with Zion.
Right.
I don't know what they call him now.
Right.
But you know what they say? This world supports that because they say why? He's supporting his son. You know what that means? He has a personal relationship with his son. I'm not having a personal relationship with my children.
Right.
These are the rules. If you follow them, you'll have favor from me. If you violate my rules, you're going to receive punishment. If you feel like, well, I'm not going to deal with this, then you have to depart. Let me tell you something. Y'all know the story of the prodigal son, right? That son understood his father. He knew he couldn't live how he wanted to live in his father's house. He didn't say, your father accept me for wanting to go out here and, spend money on prostitutes and whatnot. Right. He said, I'm going to take my inheritance and leave. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
And because the father didn't budge and didn't change his rules, that son, when he was on his last leg eating food about the pig's trough, he couldn't even eat the corn husk he was feeding the pigs with. He was like, dang, my servants eat better than I'm eating, and I'm a son. My servants got more bread than I got right now. The servants of my father. Man, let me go home and repent to my father for living like a fool, like a dummy. But we out here going through hell. And the hell we're going through is because we have violated the Lord's laws. And not just now. We've been doing it. This ain't like no new thing. But Salakia, keep reading, Ak.
Verse 7, and if the man like not to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate and to the elders.
Hold on. And if the man like not to take his brother's wife, if he make it personal, I ain't really feeling her like that.
Right.
She ain't never liked me no way.
Damn.
Or whatever. I don't know what the reason could be. Maybe he just said he feel like it's weird.
Right.
Keep reading.
Then let his brother's wife go up to the gate and to the elder and say, my husband's brother refused to raise up unto his
for the priest and the soon to be priest of the Lord wills, what did that sister go and do? The brother now she's going to the elders, right? That brother means that she came to him like, okay, my husband's dead. They buried her brother, and now she's looking at him like, well, what's good, right? And he's like, nah. He telling her, nah, I ain't finna do that. What? Before we get into this thing with the elders and what she did, what is he telling her? All right, I'm gonna help y'all out a little bit. What is the job of a husband?
Like lay law, like basically.
No.
I'm saying like
no, not to lay law, brother. That is not the answer, brother. Good night. Go ahead, sis.
Provide.
To do what?
Provide. Spiritually, physically, mentally, financially, everything.
No, not to provide. Yes, you're right to provide, but not the things that you said though. Yeah, not financially. What'd you say? Spiritually, yes, that's correct. And what else did you say?
I said physically too.
Oh, that you're right about that, sis. Yes, that is a duty. That is a duty that you are owed, and he is owed.
Right.
But okay, Most High in Christ for y'all answers. Okay, so now check this out. The first duty of a husband is not to lay law. It's to protect. It's to protect. A sister needs protection.
Right.
Because without a man, what can she do? If someone tries to violate her, or like, think about this, y'all. Is it ever a good idea to send a sister to your rib or your sister to the mechanic shop?
Lies.
Brothers, tell me why it's not a good idea. And right now I'm talking about protection, because see, protection ain't just about like a threat to life. That is definitely something that a sister needs. You know what I'm saying? But there's protection can be on a lot of different levels. So why don't we send our sisters to go to the mechanic shop? Go ahead, Art.
I'm just to protect her from the other man, because she has, at that time she's a prey.
Right,
Yeah.
because why? A sister just wants her car fixed.
Right.
She see that light come on in her car. She like, oh my God, the tire light come on. She just thinking, I'm about to go flat. And what people sisters don't even be knowing, the tire sensors that are in tires, they go out all the time, and they're more expensive to change than they are to, you know what I'm saying,
Right,
than just to ignore it. But to a sister, she see that light come on. I don't know what's wrong. I just need it fixed. And then what would slimy mechanics do? Go ahead.
No, so like if I could, they're gonna tell her that her brake light is out because she need brake fluid.
New brake. No, she need new brake pads, rotors. The rotors is fine. She like, wait a minute, I thought I got my rotors done 4 months ago.
Right.
Well, okay. She ain't gonna argue with him. Her brother gonna be like, nah, man, I don't need no rotors changed. Ain't no scaping or no treads or thread lines in my rotors. Just change the brake pad, or just put the light in there and turn the light off. We're gonna know, right? But a sister ain't gonna know. So a man needs to be there to protect her,
right?
Because she don't know what we know,
right?
You know what I mean? So she could be taken advantage of. So a brother's first job is to provide protection and safety, and then that can come through him being willing to lose his life for that sister,
right?
Or it's when you say lay law, I guess we can go with the lay law, but law's a little, you want to see, a better word would be guidance. That's a better word. Look, mom, on there, they like, I don't like his energy, popping him a little, he's strong, like that. What the sister say? She's talking about your bone structure's going crazy, right?
Oh, good.
Yeah,
right.
Mom, but it's his energy. He kind of like hard.
Right.
Guidance, all right. Guidance. To give guidance, because you can arm a sister with your instruction, with your guidance. So when she's out there, it's like you're with her. If she takes heed to you, if she respects you and she respects your counsel, then when she's moving, she's like, dang, man, he told me that. He told me to look out for that. Right. And then if she's a good sister, when she sees it, she's gonna call. Baby, look, I'm in this situation, and is what you said. They saying this. And then that gives you the opportunity to do what? Give her more guidance and instruction on what to do to keep her what? Protected. You understand? So what is this brother telling her after what I just said? What is he telling her? Read that verse again. And if the man what?
My husband brother refused to raise up into his brothers.
Put it back on me. Yeah. Go ahead. See
brother in name in Israel, but he would not perform the duty of my husband's brother.
Right. Basically, but y'all tell me, by him not wanting to perform that duty, what is he telling her? Go ahead.
Like she can go out into the wilderness pretty much by herself.
Real talk. Basically, he don't want to give her protection. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to protect you. I don't want to take responsibility for you. What kind of brother is that? Your brother loved her. He loved her. And he intended on having children with her. And then something happens to him, and now it's like, well, you on your own. Damn. That's cold, man. That's cold-hearted. Go ahead.
It's like so sister in the school said he had no brotherhood.
Who said that? Okay, no sweat. I see. All right, you right, sis. Give her a hand. He ain't got no brotherhood. Because he don't, the scriptures say that you shall love your brother as you love what? Go ahead, Art. You gonna say it? Go ahead.
How kind as yourself.
You should love your brother as yourself. Give him a hand. That's exactly correct. Meaning that if I love my brother as I love myself, the thing that I want for my brother, the thing I want for myself, I want for my brother. So this brother, in him telling this sister that he didn't want to protect her, what he's really showing is he didn't love his brother. You couldn't have loved your brother. Because if you loved your brother, why would you want your brother's possession to become dispossessed?
Right.
To be given to anybody when you know her, you know what she needs. And it really, I know if I'm not mistaken, I think in the situation, sometimes it'd be like a financial thing where brothers, I don't want to speak on the Ruth thing because I'm not clear, so I'm going to speak on that right now. But I think there was a situation in Ruth where before Boaz got with her, the brother who was supposed to go to first, financially he wasn't able. He said he wasn't able to do it. But that's where faith come in, because I'm gonna tell you something. Whenever you put the our culture first, the law first, the Lord will be with you. When you be like, I'm doing it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. The Lord is gonna give you the strength to keep the thing that He said for us to do, because He said to do it. You understand? But he's showing that he didn't love his brother. Keep reading.
Verse 8. Then the elders of his city.
Oh no, Salakia. We skipped over something. When he conveyed that to that sister, to that brother's wife, what did she go do? Which is what sisters should always do. This is wisdom, sisters. All right, read what she did.
Verse 7, verse 8. Verse 8. Then the elders.
Read before that.
Right.
My husband's brother refused it.
All right, comment, sir. My husband's brother refused it.
No. Then let his brothers. It's in the first part. Then let his brother's wife go up. Read from there.
Oh, Salaki, right? Then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders.
When the husband's wife goes up to the gate to the elders, what is she doing?
Getting counsel?
No, she ain't getting counsel. She's taking him to counsel.
Right.
Sisters, you can take brothers to counsel. If you feel like you're being mistreated, if you feel like you can't agree with a brother, you can take him. If he's in this school, you can take him to counsel. You go to the elders, you go to the men above and take that brother to counsel. This sister was wise. She didn't go off on him. She heard what he had to say. Oh, is that right?
Right.
Okay. Gentleman behind me.
Real talk.
Yeah, how can I help you, sis? and give the report and let the matter be judged. That's how we do things in Israel. We don't get on Instagram and Facebook and put them on camera. This nigga don't wanna do his duty of a brother.
Right.
He a whole nigga right here. Look at him. You see him? Hey, you tripping right now. Get that out of my face, man. You tripping, man. I'm about to call the police. Get out of my you ain't nothing. No, take it to counsel. You don't put it on Facebook. You take it to counsel. Keep reading.
Khan. My husband's brother refused to raise up unto his brothers a name in Israel.
Refusing to do what? To raise up. Read that. Raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. To lead his brother with the name. Because your son is your name.
Right.
Your son carries on your name. And she refuses to raise up his name in Israel. That's you can't be more unbrotherly than that.
Right.
Keep reading.
He would not perform the duty of my husband's brother.
Good night. He will not perform the duty of a husband's brother. Keep reading.
Verse 8. Then the elders of his city should call him and speak unto him.
Right. So she didn't submit the trespass request for counsel.
Right.
Then now we about to have counsel.
Right.
All right. So they're gonna call that brother into the council. Because they want to. Are the things that we're hearing, are they true?
Right.
Is this thing true? Or is what she's telling us? Is this true, brother? Keep reading.
Hey, if he stand to it, it's safe.
If he do what?
If he stand to it.
See, this is how you know niggas wrote the Bible.
Right.
This is blacks, Hispanics. If he stand to it, if he what? If he stand 10 toes down,
right.
If he stand on business,
right.
Yeah, I ain't finna marry her. I'm not going up into her. I do not want her. I'm not doing it. You can't. My brother's trying to say, you can't make me. I'm a grown man. You can't make me do nothing.
Right.
Some brothers be thinking that.
Right.
Brothers be like, yeah, you know, take me to counsel. You know what I'm saying? I run my house.
Right.
You can't make me do nothing. Can't no man tell me nothing.
Right.
Okay. All right. No sweat. See, even that spirit is a Babylonian spirit. It's an American spirit.
Right.
It's the spirit of the individual. You know what I'm saying? It's not the spirit of somebody that thinks about the nation.
Right.
That thinks about the Most High. You thinking about yourself. And selfishness always destroys a community. When you put yourself first, whether it's drug dealing, whether it's you don't want to go to school and learn a skill set. Like shout out to Officer Nakar in Philadelphia, Captain Kotazar. He received his instructor's certification and license to teach. You know what I mean? As far as being an instructor and being an electrician, Nakar getting his engineering license and certification. They're learning skill sets to be able to enrich their households and their families. But you don't want to learn a skill set because that's too hard, right? To go put that work in. So you rather go get sisters and put them on the streets and prostitute them because you're selfish. Because you don't have the discipline or the patience to go through the process to build yourself up in skills. So you have to abuse sisters because you're selfish. And the reason why the Christian church is the bane of our community, because they teach you selfishness.
Right.
They don't teach you brotherhood. They don't teach you the laws of God, which the laws of God are brotherhood. They teach you to think about you. Come as you are and stay as you are. Okay? Keep reading, Knock.
And if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her. Verse 9. Then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders.
Sister, they're going to come off mute.
Right.
You come into the council, come off mute. Right? Salakia. Before the elders, the sister gets called up. Come on, sister. Because she's being violated. She's being denied the duty. Her duty. I mean her due. Because now, in her marrying that brother, her entire aim and goal was to bring forth his seed, her husband's seed. So she's been dishonored before everybody. Keep reading.
And loose his shoes from off his feet.
And do what?
And loose his shoes off his feet.
Right. So now the brother has on shoes. She comes and looses the shoe off his foot, meaning she takes the shoe off his foot. All right, go ahead.
And spit in his face.
And do what?
And spit in his face.
Now, loosen the shoe. It's like, you ever see like a brother with his laces not tied? It's like, what's wrong, bro? Hey, man, tie your well, you ain't no kids, but I got kids. I'm like, hey, man, Judah, tie your shoes up, bro. You looking crazy out here like a putt-putt. You know what I'm saying? It's loose shoes. Like, it's visible. Everybody can see it. So it's like loosen the laces of the shoe. And she spit in his face. And guess what? The counsel is there while she does it.
Right.
So you don't want to be with this sister to the point where you're willing to get your shoes, your laces untied, and get spit in the face. What does all this mean? The laces getting untied and him getting spit in the face. What is that to show everybody? Anybody? Anybody? Check the chat. See if anybody got a comment. Sis, what does that mean? She come up. The elders call her up. She go and untie his shoelaces. Picture that. Picture some fresh white Air Forces, laced up nice. He fresh. And you go in there, you just and throw the laces all crazy. And then you stand up and go hot to it. Hot to it, that thing. Right? She hot to it him. All right? Hot to on him. Why is the council allowing her to do this? And what is that an indication of?
For me, it means the same amount of disrespect I was receiving.
Good night. Give her a hand. Good night. That's right. They are allowing her to do this to this brother because that's what he has done to her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's because in not raising up seed to his brother, he's marked her.
Right.
And so now he's marked.
Right.
So now everybody in Israel knows that he's not a what? Go ahead.
A brother.
He's not a brother. You understand? That, I mean, be a brother. And let me say this. You know, be a brother.
Right.
Because when you're not being a brother, that's what you deserve.
Right.
Some loose laces and a hot tool in your face. Be a brother, man. Be a brother. Is there any more on that? Keep reading.
Come on, sir. And shall answer and say, so shall it be done to that man that will not build up his son, it's like his brother's house. Verse 10. And his name shall be called Israel, in the house of him that had it, his shoes loosed.
And his name shall be called in Israel, the house of him that hath his shoe loosed. Now imagine you had to walk around with your shoes loose and you couldn't tie them up no more. Everybody like, dang, man, I'm so sure. Oh, you the brother that
right
with the shoe loose.
Right.
You unbrotherly.
Good
Everybody
man.
see you like, You know what I'm saying?
That's
All right, let me put it in present terms. You know how everybody love J's, right? You see that brother with the not J's?
Right.
The what? Just J's. The brother got this. This the Air Jordan, but it ain't Air Jordan. It's
Right.
Air Jamal.
Right.
Right. And what brother he doing? Cold blooded with it, unbrotherly. Put the camera on. Hey, hold on, where you going? Let me examine these.
Right.
Put the camera on him.
Right.
Right. He be like, come on, man. He come out the dollar store
Damn.
with his bag. Come on, man. What are those?
Good night.
What are those?
Right.
Picture that. That's what was going on. This is the house of him who has his shoes loose. It's a shame. Meaning what? You're not authentic. You're of the nation of Israel, but you're not a brother. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all understand that? All right, go ahead. All right.
I guess they say he's a marked brother now.
He's a marked brother.
in Israel.
Hey, listen, if y'all, well, some of y'all may be on YouTube, but if y'all on YouTube, like the video, share the video. You on Facebook, like the video, share the video. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Get that algorithm up, man. You know what I'm saying? All right. Any questions?
Live, so no questions.
No sweat. To raise up a child to build up the house of his brother. You know what I'm saying? And I initially when I was going to do this class, I was thinking about what General Muhammad had said about nepotism, you know what I'm saying, being our culture and having to, deal with inheritance. And, the Lord, we're going to get into the subject of reincarnation, but the Lord, in fact, give me that Mark 12.
Come on, sir.
If the Christian church says that we die and that's it, and then we're somewhere off in, I don't know, purgatory or something, waiting on the judgment day. So when everybody's gonna stand before God on this big old day, like it's gonna be a big courtroom with billions of people, just souls, just before the Most High throne. That's not how this thing works, man. And a lot of what the Christians teach comes out of Greek mythology.
Right.
You understand? And we don't understand that, but it becomes Christian dogma. You know what I'm saying? And instead of us holding to what the Lord say, we void his word through the traditions of men. You understand? We see Mark 12.
I'm sorry. 20?
18. All right.
Colonel Wakanda, this is the book of. Okay.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 18. They're coming to him.
The Sadducees.
The Sadducees, which said there is no resurrection.
They say there's no what?
Resurrection.
So now, for the Christians and for the people that say that that regeneration and reincarnation is not in the Bible, Christ was having this same battle with the Sadducees. You understand? Because they didn't believe in regeneration. They didn't believe that we come back. That's what they're talking about with the resurrection. See, in Christian dogma, you think the resurrection means that the final day when God resurrects everybody to be judged.
Right.
That's not what we thought about it in our culture at that time. Resurrection was dealing with we come back and reincarnate. If you look at the word reincarnate, it just simply means to come back into flesh. It means to be born again. Physically, like to come back and be born. The spirit coming back into a body again, to incarnate. You reincarnate. You incarnate means to come into a body. You come into a body again, reincarnate. Now, we're not talking about the Hindus, all right? Typically, Christians get taught reincarnation is not of God, and that's what the Hindus teach. Yeah, we're not saying that you reincarnate into a butterfly or a caterpillar or into a cockroach. We're saying that you come back as a child again. And I'm going to show it to you in the scriptures. This is what was known amongst Christ and his disciples and the Israelites as a whole. We understood this thing, okay? So now we have a group of Israelites, though, that don't believe this, all right? Because they've been indoctrinated with like Greek teachings or whatever, right? Keep reading.
And they asked him, saying,
All right.
verse 19, Master, Moses wrote unto us.
Uh-oh. Moses wrote unto us. Now, this is why I brought up the law of a brother, because the law of a brother, okay, is what leads into this regeneration question. Because they're about to quote what we just read in Deuteronomy 25.
Right.
And they're going to try to use what Moses wrote as a law, right, of brotherhood, and they're going to try to use it and try to pervert it and try to test Christ with it. Go ahead and read. Keep reading.
If a man's brother die and leave his wife behind him and leave no children.
Then we just read that? We just read that. Keep reading.
That his brother shall take his wife and raise up seed unto his brother.
Now think about this. To raise up seed unto his brother, right? Now they're not focused on that. The raising up seed unto his brother. They're focused on him taking the wife.
Right.
It show you the mindset.
Right.
You're trying to make it, that's what even when you teach that sex is marriage, you know what happens to our minds? Sex ain't marriage. You ain't about I heard to be hoeing. We ain't got to tell you that sex is marriage for you to be a hoe. You already a hoe. You was a hoe before we said sex was marriage.
Right.
You don't care about sex being marriage. That's why you a hoe. But you hear sex is marriage and you thinking we teaching whoredom. Why? Because you've been raised as an American. Right. You're a good American. Your heart probably fell dropped when you saw the attempt on Trump's life. Right. Your heart probably dropped because you're a good American. You know what I'm saying? We need good Judeo-Christian values in this country. We need to make America great again. The Bible calls America the whore that sits on many waters. Right. That's what we just went when the brother went and asked that question in Ezekiel. That's why I said, so as the mother, so is the daughter. Right. When you've been raised as raised by a whore, you don't have to become one. You can look at her and say, I'm not going to be that. But 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to do what your mother does.
Right.
You understand? If you saw your father growing up pimping women, then what are you going to think is okay to do? Pimp women. Unless you have a different kind of a spirit and say that's not right. You understand? But that's why you think that way. And this is why the Sadducees thought this way, because their understanding of the Bible, it's the same way right now. When people read about Adam and Eve, they say, oh, those are the first 2 people created on the earth. Why? Because they were taught by the oppressor. Right. So the Sadducees are coming against Christ because they're trying to interpret their culture through the eyes of their oppressor. Keep reading.
Verse 20. Now there were 7 brethren, and the first took a wife, and dying left no seed.
They're giving him a hypothetical example. This brother there were 7 brothers. He didn't have any children. Keep reading.
21. And the second took her and died. Neither left he any seed. And the third likewise. 22. And the 7th had her and left no seed. Last of all, the women died also.
So now look, they're saying that it was 7 brothers. Her first husband died. The next brother marries her. He dies. They don't have any kids. All the way down to 7. Then he dies. It sounds like the whole Tobit thing, right? A little bit. Not this ain't the same story. Right. Good night. So now the seventh brother dies with no children, and then she dies. All right. Now, this is how you know this is talking about regeneration, because look what the next question is. Read.
23. In the resurrection, therefore, when they shall rise.
When they shall what?
Rise.
Okay.
Whose wife shall she be of him?
Meaning that when they come back again and they rise and they come back into the earth again, who does she belong to? Which is really a foolish question.
Real tough.
It's really just silly. And I'm gonna show you why it's silly. Abon, give me 1 Corinthians. Either is it Romans or is it 1 Corinthians? I want to say it's Romans.
Well,
go to 1 Corinthians 7. It could be 1 Corinthians 7. I'm gonna show you why this is foolish. Okay. But we're gonna finish reading this, but I just want to show y'all this real quick. Like, you're gonna have, listen, y'all gonna have people that come and ask you questions because they don't believe God. They want to make it, they're coming trying to disprove this truth. They just don't believe in God. They don't want to do what God says. So in disproving you wrong, it validates them being wicked. You understand? And that's why they approach you. Some people come with genuine questions. You know what I'm saying? They really don't understand and they want to know. But some questions, no, this ain't it. I want to say it's going to be in Romans then. Hold on. Let me see. It talks about how the law is over her. I want to say it's Romans.
As long as she living.
Yeah.
Concept.
Yeah, as long as she living, right? Or is he living, or whatever. What's that?
That's 1 Corinthians 7:39.
39?
Come on, concept.
Okay, go ahead and read that, Abon. You got the mic?
This is the book of 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 39. Yeah. The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth.
As long as he what?
Liveth.
Meaning that she is his wife as long as he's what? But when she dies, what happens? Or when he dies, what happens, sis? The wife is bound to her husband. This is 1 Corinthians 7 and 39. The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth, right? So grab the mic. So when he dies, what does that mean?
I believe it means that basically she can't take another husband.
No.
Or if she does, it has to be a brother.
Well, you don't know. You're right. That's what we talked about earlier. Yeah. But it's talking about right now in terms of the state of the marriage. As long as her husband is alive, they're what? They're bound. Now, so like think about like a rope being tied together, right? As long as he's alive, that rope is tied together. But when he dies, what happens?
It's no longer tied.
So she's what?
She's free.
Free, true. But she's free. She's no longer bound. She's not his wife anymore because he's what?
Dead.
So the marriage is over.
Right.
So now she's free, like you said, she's free until she what? Marries another. Then she's what? Bound to him. So the Sadducees came to Christ like saying, well, who's her husband when they rise? None of them.
Right.
Just according to the law. Right. Because they died. So if they died, the marriage was what? Over.
Right.
And like the sister said, she was free. Give her a hand. You know what I'm saying? She's free. So let's get back to that Mark 12. But just to show you, like, them even coming at Christ with this, it's showing you like they didn't even understand their own culture. But go ahead.
From the top there, 23.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 23. In the resurrection, therefore, when they shall rise, whose wife shall she be of them? For the seven had her to wife.
For the seven had her to wife. Look how they talking about it. They even talking about it in a freaky way.
Right.
But the seven of them had her. Like it was an unlawful thing. What happened was lawful. In fact, them seven brothers was righteous brothers because they all kept their duty.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? They was brothers. They were seven righteous brothers, and they talking about, they all seven of them had her. like she did something evil.
Right.
They all 7 had her. Who gonna be her husband when they rise? Let me ask you. Never mind. Keep reading. I'm gonna get into it. Good night.
24. And Jesus answered and said,
Yahushua.
Yahushua answered and said unto them, do ye not therefore err?
Do you not therefore err? Christians, they err. Do you not therefore err? Like, don't you see where you don't even understand what's going on? This is Christ telling them, you don't even understand how this thing works. He knew that they was taught by the Greeks.
Right.
And that's why they thought this way. Keep reading.
Because you know not the scriptures.
You err. Don't you know that you err because you don't know the scriptures? Christians don't know the scriptures. Fake Israelites don't know the scriptures.
Right.
Muslims don't know the scriptures. But you know who does know them? The priests and prophets in the Isupk Killeen the Command General Yana, man.
Right.
Because we are the school of the prophets. We are the prophets that have come back. Right. You understand? In this school under Command General Yana, man. So we understand. We know. Keep reading, Mark.
Neither the power of God.
The power of God. You don't understand the scriptures and you don't understand the power of God. That's why you out here talking about YOLO. You only live once. That's because you err and do not understand the power of God or the scriptures. Keep reading.
25. For when they shall rise from the dead.
When they shall what?
Rise from the dead.
This ain't talking about Thriller.
Damn.
This ain't talking about zombies. And this ain't talking about, in some spiritual place
right,
where the souls are before. This ain't talking about that. This is talking about rising from the dead here on the earth. When they become, listen, if you rise from the dead, what has to happen? Now, I'm not saying that the Lord didn't bring Lazarus back, but that's not what this is talking about. This is talking about you being what? Becoming a baby again.
Right.
What baby is married?
Real talk.
Do you know any children that are born that are married? They come out the womb and she this person wife.
Right.
Oh, that's such and such husband.
Right.
How they're not connected? You only become connected through what, Vaughn? Give Vaughn the mic.
Through marriage.
Say the word, Doc.
Sex.
That's right. I want you to say it, because we're gonna keep saying it. Through marriage is sex, sex is marriage. You only become bonded through sex. So babies ain't having no sex.
Right.
Except for them Amalekite bastards.
Insane.
And that's not even, you can't even call that. That's some old, that's some old wickedness. 8 days after the baby's born, you over here, Salakia.
Real talk.
Oh, man. That's okay. That day's coming, man. You know what I'm saying? Lord allow. That day is coming. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're going to be able to address all those issues. It says that, so read verse 25, all right?
Verse 25. For when they shall rise from the dead, they neither marry nor are given in marriage.
Right, because babies are not being wedded.
Right.
Dummy. That's what Christ was saying. Like, you don't understand? Babies don't get married. They're not given in marriage. Go ahead.
But or as the angels which are in heaven.
What does that mean? What does that mean? But are as the angels which are in heaven. Abon, what does that mean? Yeah, I ain't giving y'all no room to choose now. I'm putting y'all in the hot seat. Hand on the mic, Carrie. I want him to feel the weight of the mic. What does that mean, Abon? They are the angels. Well, they are as the angels which are in heaven. What does that mean?
Oh, because the angels in heaven, they don't have sex.
That's true. Give them a hand. Right? So for all y'all out there saying that the angels fell and lay with women, not true. You understand? There's no reason for angels to procreate. An angel's only duty, which is our duty too, to serve God, but that's the angel's only duty. He don't have to. He's not a terrestrial being. He's not in this earth on this realm living, having families.
Right.
They do whatever the Most High tells them to do. What's the other meaning, Abon? Or Abiar? What's the other meaning? Go ahead.
This is talking about this. So this scripture right here is talking about when a brother is born again,
Uh-huh.
as far as spiritual.
Uh-huh.
So this means that they become the oracles of God, the angels.
Okay. Give me more. Yeah,
Okay.
you there, but I see you there, but just bring it home. Make it plain what you're saying, because you said it, but make it plain.
Oh, they become priests and prophets.
Well, so like no, that's not it. I thought you was coming down a different road. Abiar, you want to go ahead? There are as the angels which are in heaven. Okay, for time's sake, you want to give it a go?
No, go ahead.
Okay, for time's sake, the brother alluded to it, but he went down a different lane with it. The angels do whatever God tells them to do, meaning that we come in whatever state the Lord dictates, because the Lord does what He wants.
Right.
So if the Lord decides that we come and we're born in Mississippi to these parents, that's what happens. If He decides we're born in Louisiana in the boot, that's where we're going to be at.
Right.
You understand? The Lord determines when we come and how we come and the state that we're in, because the angels have to obey the Most High and do whatever He says. And when we come in that state, it's in whatever state that the Lord dictates. You understand? They are as the angels in heaven, meaning that the angels ain't got no choice.
Right.
Whatever they're told to do, they do. When you're born, you ain't got no choice about how you come here. The Lord determines that. Now, when you get older, you might have a little bit of decision making you can do, but when you're born, you ain't got no decision in that. You come in how the Lord determined for you to come. All right. So, is there any more in that scripture?
That's it with 25. Yeah. Continue on.
Let me see. Let me look real quick.
You go for conversation.
No, keep reading. Yeah, go. Yeah, keep reading.
Verse 26. And as touching the dead, that they rise.
Listen, so Christ over here, like, listen, you didn't even know what you was talking about, this law of a brother, meaning that nobody, if you knew the law, you already know that when a person dies, that marriage is already done, because she ain't bonded to him anymore because he's dead. So she could, and then when babies are born, they're not married. So you don't even understand the law. Now, as touching what? The dead that rise. Now Christ is saying, now discussing the dead that rise, read.
Have you not read in the book of Moses?
Okay, say going back to the Torah. Go ahead.
How in the bushes God spoken to me, it's like spoken to him, saying, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.
What does that mean? And sis, I want you to give me an answer. What does that mean? Now, Christ goes back to when the Lord talks to Moses about what He wants him to do. He's revealing Himself to Moses, and He's revealing Himself to Moses in a certain way. And He says, I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. Why is Christ bringing this up in the discussion of the dead rising? The water's getting kind of deep. It's getting heavy up in here. Go ahead.
Basically, he's saying he's the son of, not the son, but the God of prophets, people that He brought into the truth Himself.
Hey, hold on, that's kind of heavy. The sister, I didn't expect her to say that. Give her a hand. Good night. Okay, I wasn't looking for that, but I can't. I have to accept that. I got to take that, because what you say that again, sis? Nice. What's going on? That's kind of heavy there. Go ahead, sis.
He's the God of prophets. Basically, He brought these people in the truth, but they walk the truth themselves, so they're living proof of what He can bring.
Yeah. But really, what you said, sis, you don't even really know what you said. You said something very heavy. You just don't know that you said it. But what you're saying is not incorrect. But there's a heavier part to what you said. So now, this is what you said. You said that He's the God of the prophets. But here He says, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. What else does that mean? Because you're correct. They were all prophets. But what else does that mean? Because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were what?
Weren't they all brothers though? I think no.
Yes,
yeah,
they were brothers.
Right.
They were brothers. But what were they? Okay, just keep it. Okay, keep it practical. Abraham was who to Isaac? All right, I'm gonna let another brother. No, good job, sis. Give her a hand. No, you did an excellent job. I ain't gonna pressure you like that. But that what you said, sis, was heavy, and I'm gonna get into it. So go ahead, Art.
I was gonna say, so like they were all dead.
Yeah, but that's not. But I'm talking about in terms of relation. Who is Abraham to Isaac?
Oh, his father.
Who is Isaac to Jacob?
His father.
So that's a what? A bloodline.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, they're brothers because they from the same, right? But that's Abraham is Isaac's father. Isaac is Jacob's father, and Jacob is the father of what? Us. So now go back to the scripture. What did he say? He said, I am the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. Now he's talking about as the dead rising. So what does this mean? What does it mean for the Lord to tell Moses that I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? What is the Lord saying? Let's find out. Read the next scripture and I'm gonna help you.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Verse 27. He is not the God of the dead.
He's not, because who said that they're all dead? Who said that? Who said it? Did someone just say that to me?
Oh, I said it. Yeah, I said it.
You said they all dead.
Right.
But what is Christ saying?
Right.
Read out.
But the God of the living.
He said he's not the God of the dead. He's the God of the what?
The living.
What does that mean? He said, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Christ says, this is our king. He is not the God of the dead. He is the God of the living. So what is Christ saying?
I would say that would be us today. The seed of Jacob.
That what Christ was saying is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are alive.
Right.
That's keep it plain. And really what he's saying is this. The covenant that the Lord gave us wouldn't mean nothing if Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob were dead. Because then what does it got to do with us? We don't even know them. We don't know them.
Right.
So we're reading these words and what? This means something to us? We don't know them. God is not the God of the dead. He's the God of the living, meaning that he's dealing with the living because of what? They're coming back. Right. He's not a God of the dead. He's a God of the living.
Right.
They come back. Now when they come back, are they called Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? No. And we don't know who's who or who's what. But what he means is that he's a God of the living, meaning he's saying that they're not dead because I'm not a God of the dead. We're not Egyptians. We're not Egyptologists who read the book of the dead and worship the dead.
Right.
You understand? We worship a living God, and that living God is a God of the living. Go ahead, Art.
Ye therefore do great.
No. I'm talking about Bond. Salakia. Go ahead, Bond.
Yeah, so we brought so heavy because Christ also told, I forgot what Brother told. He said, "Let the dead bury the dead." And Christ, like you said, like Yahweh doesn't deal with the dead.
Right.
It's just like with the Pharisees, they were talking about, well, what about they died? Who died? He said, "Why are you worried about who died? Like you in the wrong spirit."
You give him a hand, bro. That's excellent, Art. That's excellent, Art. You in the wrong spirit. I remember I was having a conversation with Officer Thabalon out in Cali, man. I call him the most brotherliest of brothers. You know what I'm saying? Amongst the most brotherly brothers in the earth, in the ISUPK. He's a brother amongst brothers in the ISUPK, man. But I was having a conversation with him, and I asked him a particular question, and I think some fake Israelite had posed a question about, is Christ going to live forever? Is Christ going to die? Right? And Thabalon, he told me, he was like, I forget, is he gonna die? He how about you focus on that he conquered death?
Right.
He rose from the dead and conquered death. Who cares if he's gonna die or not?
Right.
Why don't you concentrate on the fact that he rose from the dead?
Right.
And I was like, good night, man. And I only bring that up because you're right. It's the spirit that brothers be in. Like, why are you worried about, like, you're basing your whole understanding off of what's dead, and God is only dealing with the living.
Right.
And that's, that has levels to it. You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
But keep reading, Salakia.
Oh, God.
Was that it on that? Hold on, let me see. What I said go 34, right?
That was 27.
Yeah, no, keep reading, Knock.
Ye therefore do greatly err.
Yeah, most Christians greatly err. You don't understand, thinking we only live once and that's it. No.
Right.
You understand? And that's why a lot of people live how they live, because they feel like they only going to live once. So it's like, let me get all my lust and in and do all this wickedness in, because I'm only going to be here one time. So let me go ahead and do me. It's a very selfish way of thinking, because if you understood that you come back and you're going to come back through your children,
right?
That's how you come back through you sitting here as a granddaughter, not knowing that you was the great grandmother, right? And now you back. You like, you look at great grandma Nelly. You like, man, I like her. She kind of because you was her,
right?
You understand? Or you wasn't. But what you do now, the way you deal with your children, you're setting yourself up for when you come back.
Right.
You're coming back into that line. So it would behoove you to be mindful of that. And the Lord, and more important than that, you get incentivized to serve God, because like how he said, you'll be as the angels of heaven. The Lord can send you back in any condition. It don't have to be a positive one. Give me Deuteronomy 5 and 9 so I can show y'all what I'm talking about. You understand? You want to disregard the Most High now, and you feel like, oh yeah, I got to worry about it. It's my only life, and you ain't considering with your kids. The Lord, you ain't getting away. You ain't getting away with it. You got to think about the Most High as a judge, a righteous judge. You understand? He's a righteous judge. You got to think about him that way. Read that. Deuteronomy 5 and 9.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5 and verse 9. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord, am a jealous God.
Right. He's talking about when he's giving the laws to the Israelites, saying, don't bow down to any false gods or false idols. Don't serve them because I'm jealous. I remember Oprah Winfrey in an interview. I remember I was reading the Bible and I saw that God was jealous. I said, that's not the God I want to worship, because my God wouldn't be jealous. What type of statement is that? Who talks like that? But a what?
Yeah.
No, a whore.
Right.
That's the. I remember I was watching the balloon pop thing, and the brother was like, when the sister's out with her friends, she need to be loyal. She need to be, checking in, let me know that that she's letting me know her whereabouts and this, that, and the third and all that. And then the sister popped her balloon, and they get down and ask her, like, sister, why you pop your balloon? Because I didn't like that about how, if I'm out and about, I gotta check in like I'm a child and check in with you. I'm thinking to myself, wow, like all our sisters say is that black women aren't protected. And then when a brother is saying that's what he wants, is to be able to protect his woman and his woman to submit herself to that protection, she pops a balloon like, I don't want that. I'm not a child to check in. You know why that happens? It's not just sisters either, it's men too. You know why people talk about I'm grown? What they're really saying is that I'm of the age where I can do what I want to do without somebody telling me what to do. Right? Because they think that's what grown means. But the truth of the matter is, there's always a power above you. You're gonna pay. Right. It's not like you can get away from, like, all right, you get out the house and you don't listen to your parents no more. Guess who you're gonna be listening to? Them police that put that baton beside your head.
Right.
That put that knee on your neck for 8 minutes.
Right.
That put out them tasers or put out that pistol and blow you away.
Right.
You'll be listening to the warden and them prison guards in prison. You're gonna listen to somebody. You understand?
Oh my God.
Somebody gonna tell you what to do. Sister, I ain't gonna listen to nobody. I'm about to live my life. You know you're gonna be listening to? That doctor telling you that you gotta take medication for the rest of your life because what you contracted is not gonna go away.
Right.
You're gonna listen to somebody.
Right.
There is no I'm grown in that regard. You know what grown really means? Is that understanding that you're always gonna be under authority. And if you're wise, you'll be up under the God's authority. Right. And you don't resist the power. Meaning you have a spirit that wants to resist the Most High. You don't want to resist the Most High. You want to yield to him. Avon, give me that in James, that submit yourself. You shouldn't be resisting the Most High. You should be resisting your oppressor. And when I say resist the oppressor, I don't mean through carnal warfare. I'm talking about resisting his ideas, his philosophies, his way of living, the things that he got sexy red out here doing,
right,
and promoting. Resist him. Resist the Lear Cohens, the whoever the president of Interscope is. Resist them.
Right.
That bring harm to our community. You know what I mean? Like, you know, trying to promote all this this wickedness in his lifestyle and his culture. The Lord called us a chosen people, a holy people unto himself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your oppressor makes you feel like, you know, you're getting rich off of our culture. That's no, you're selfish and getting rich off of his culture, and it's destroying our people. You got that out? Submit yourself, go ahead. Or humble yourself under the mighty hand of God.
This is the book of James, chapter 4, verse 6.
Uh-huh.
But he's giving more grace. Wherefore he said, God resisted the proud.
He does what?
God resisted the proud.
You know who's proud? Your oppressor.
Right.
That's why the scriptures say, do not envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. The oppressor's proud. He feel like he grown. It's his earth. He can do what he want to do. He didn't create the heaven and earth.
Right.
Paul talked about how the Lord only raised him up to show his power and talking about Pharaoh. But he was discussing that while he was discussing the fall of Esau. Esau's only in power because the Lord raised him up to show his power. And he's going to show it in a little bit. And through World War III, he's going to show his power.
Right.
In an hour.
Right.
The power hour.
The hour power. That's
the hour power. The power hour, right? Ain't going to take long, man. Keep reading, Knock.
God resists the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to God. See, this is the thing. You think you resisting God, but when God resists you, that's why that's why you can't never you wonder why is all this stuff happening to me? You think you saying it's Satan. I'm talking about the angel saying. And it is. But the Lord's like, get him. Get her. Tear her stuff up. Get him. Jack him up. The Lord saying do it. Saying like, come on. Facts. You're like, man, Satan on my head. Say, yeah, he is, but he's on orders. Right. He follows orders. You don't.
Right.
Keep reading that.
Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
He ain't talking about, y'all think the devil is right. He talking about the deceiver. He talking about the deceiver that's here in the earth.
Right.
That show you the image of a white Jesus and you believe it. That tell you that we wasn't slaves, that we came here as workers and learned great skills. You know what I'm saying? And they got you thinking that you're a Democrat and a Republican. Right. They got you voting in this election. Resist the devil. The Lord says that we ain't supposed to put nobody over us that's not of our brethren. That when you choose a king, it has to be from amongst your brethren. You can't put anybody above you that's not from your people.
Right.
But you ain't here voting. It's unlawful to vote. And how can you say that you serve Christ and you voting? You know why you vote? Because you want to make this place great again. That's why you say Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, God bless America. And you wear the MAGA hat. But what you're doing is you're showing Christ that you're a traitor to him.
Right.
That you don't want him to reign over you. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we've always had that problem. We've always been those people. Right. We asked for a king. Why? Is it because God wanted to give us a king? No. It's because we wanted to be like what? The other nations.
Right.
So when you vote and you pray, oh Lord, who should I vote for? Man, the Lord is so angry at you.
It's up.
Nigga, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
Right.
Like he don't hear you. You are offending the Lord. You are angering the Lord. Because he's and then look, when he give us the king that he want to give us, we antichrist.
Good night.
Love to say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. You such a liar. You don't want the Lord's kingdom to come. You want America to keep going.
Right.
Guess what? The citizens of China want China to keep going.
Right.
The citizens of Russia want Putin to win and keep going.
Right.
The Ukrainians want Zelensky to win and keep going. But in the Isupk, under Command General, we want Christ to reign. We don't want no other kingdom to reign. We want all these kingdoms to be what? destroyed,
Right.
broken to pieces, and for our kingdom to come. That's what we want. And we want Christ to rule forever
Right.
in the earth. Get out of hand. We want Christ to rule forever. Not Trump. We're not invested in Trump or Biden. And if y'all listen, the fact that y'all want to vote in this election is insane.
Right.
I don't care if you vote for Trump or Biden. Who you choosing? Satan or Lucifer? Like, what's going on here?
Right.
Biden, oh my God. Give him some pea soup and put him in an old folks home, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Let him sit in a wheelchair under the tree and bird watch.
Right.
Good night. Keep reading, Knock.
Verse 8. Draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you.
Right. How do you draw near to the Most High? Come on to class.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Learning your culture. You know what I'm saying? Learning what the Lord hates and what he loves. The things that he wants you to do and the things he doesn't want you to do.
Right.
You don't have a personal relationship because you have emotions and you feel like, oh, God rocks with me. He's seen all the things I've been through. Yeah, he's seen all the things you've been through because he put the belt on you. When you spank your kid, are you feeling like, yeah, you know, I'm just connecting with my kid and you know, that's my boy, that's my girl. No, you're punishing them to wake them up out of the mindset they're in, to change their way. You're not spanking them because this is making a bond between y'all two. You checking them. The pain that you've gone through in your life is punishments. Because when you was here before, you was acting up.
Right.
You can stop on that. Finish reading that, Mark, and then we're gonna go to some of these scriptures where they try to say that the Lord, there ain't no coming back, whatever how you say. You only hear one time. We'll see where they get that from. We're gonna show that that's not the case. Go ahead.
Come on, God.
Back in Mark chapter 12, y'all.
Come on, God. Book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 28. And one of the scribes came and had heard them reasoning together and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, which is the first commandment of all. 29. And how shall I answer him? The first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel, the Lord of God is one Lord. 30. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment.
Okay, keep going.
31. And the second is, like namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So the lawyer pretty much asked what's the greatest commandment, I believe, and then this is Christ responding, but keep reading.
There is none other commandment greater than thee.
Keep reading.
32. And the scribe said unto him, well, master, thou hast said the truth, for there is one God, and there is none other but he.
Keep going.
33. And to love him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul.
Actually, you go ahead and drop that out. I think the brother said at the end of this, he says, this is better than all the offerings and sacrifices, to love your brothers yourself, to love the Lord your God, all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And Christ says, you're not far from the truth. I think that's what he says in 34. Like, you ain't far from the truth. If you're not following Christ, if you're not in the school of the prophets, the following the disciples of Christ, then you're not in the truth.
Right.
This is why Christ said you're not far from it in understanding these principles. But just because you understand a couple of things doesn't mean that you're in the truth. You have to understand the truth about it all. You understand? And this is why Christ was battling the same way we battle you Christians nowadays and you fake Israelites, who just how the Sadducees were fake Israelites, and they said that there was no regeneration, no reincarnation, no resurrection. Christ battled them. We battle y'all. Because why? We're the followers of Christ. We're doing what we've always done. We're doing the same thing that we were doing back then. Battling y'all who didn't want to follow Christ back then. The people who argue against us are really arguing against Christ. You're Antichrist.
Right.
Because this is Christ saying that. I didn't say this. Christ said this. All right. Give me now. We're gonna go to Hebrews 9:27. This is the scripture that Christians use to say that, you know, there is no regeneration. There is no reincarnation or resurrection. All right. Well, how much time we got?
14 minutes.
Golly. Go ahead. We're going to do this and we're going to close out.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 9, verse 27. And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this, the judgment.
Read that again.
And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this, the judgment.
So this is where they get the idea that, you know, Christians say, well, see, it's written right there. It's appointed unto men once to die, and then it's the judgment. Meaning that what? The judgment of God, right? Before the throne and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
You die and then you wait for the judgment day. Okay? That's not what that's talking about. It is appointed unto men once to die. If you're living in the earth, you can only die once in the earth. Right. Until what? You come back. That's it. But I'm gonna show this to you, okay? Give me Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15. Because we gotta the scriptures don't argue with themselves. All right. It says, then is the judgment. But where does judgment occur at? Does judgment occur in some spiritual place? Somewhere else? Now you're given a judgment before the throne of God, but that's not where the judgment plays out. What is a judgment? A judgment is either reward or punishment. Right. Right? You go before a judge or a court, like in civil court. Somebody violated you or wronged you, or they damaged your goods. You go to civil court, and if you win the judgment, what happens? You get a payment, right? The person has to pay you for what happened. If you're a criminal and you get a judgment, you have to serve out a what? A punishment. So, Kerry, let Vaughn read this. Ecclesiastes 3:15. Kerry over there like he at camp. I ain't mad at you, Ark. That's excellent. It's an excellent spirit. Go ahead, Ark.
The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been.
Hold up. That which has been is what? Now. Okay. And that which what?
That which is to be hath already been.
That which is to be hath already been. Yeah. Keep reading.
And God requireth that which is past.
And God requires that which is past. Read again. We'll read again.
Chapter 3, verse 15. That which is have been is now.
Just take your time out. You kind of, this ain't the slides at the water park, man. We got to walk this thing out, all right? Just take your time. That which hath been is now.
That which has been is now. And that which is to be hath already been.
So look, that which hath been is now. Is now. That which hath been is now. Read.
And God required.
And that which is to be, that which is to come, has already been. And God requires, read.
That which is past.
That which is past. Meaning that you live your life how you want to live it. No sweat. Because that which has been is now. And that which is to be have already been. And God requires that which is past. Right. Meaning that you're not going to get away with any of it. Right. Now, hold that, and you give me Deuteronomy 5 and 9. Did we already read that?
Come on, sir.
We read that?
Come on, sir.
No, read it again. No, we didn't. We didn't finish it. No, we didn't. I know we didn't finish it. 5 and 9. But y'all hold that Ecclesiastes though. You don't move off of that. Read it all the way through.
Colonel Wakan. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 5 and verse 9. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God.
Doing what?
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children.
Upon the who?
Upon the children.
Upon the who?
Upon the children.
Read.
Unto the third and fourth generation of them that hated me.
Unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Oh, it is heavy. You right, Art. He said, what? Visiting the father's iniquity, right? Upon the children. Now you would say, oh, that means that he makes the children pay for what the fathers do. No. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers. Now it could mean that. The Lord can do that. He can punish the kids for what the fathers do. But what it also means is that when you come back either in the third or fourth generation, you're the children.
Right.
And he come back around. Like, you know how the mob say, oh, I'm about to pay him a visit.
Right.
Oh, remember when you did this? Because the Lord what? Requires that which is what? Past.
Right.
You thought you got away with it. Don't we say that, man? The wicked just do what they want to do. They rob, they steal, they kill, they sell drugs, then they die with money. Kids got living good, lavish. Dang, I guess they're gonna pay in hell. No. When you come back, you're gonna pay in the third and fourth generation. The Lord decides that. Because like when Christ said, for there as the angels of heaven, meaning the Lord will put you back in any condition he wants. When after you die, then is the judgment. Now let's go back to that Ecclesiastes 3:15. Read verse 16.
Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment.
What's under the sun? Sis, what's under the sun?
Earth. We are.
The earth. Read again.
Verse 16. Moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment.
The place of what?
The place of judgment.
It is appointed unto man once to die, and then the what?
Place of judgment.
The judgment. So where does judgment occur?
Earth.
On earth. On earth. That's where judgments play out. That's where the punishment plays out. Reward or punishment. Read.
That wickedness was there.
That what?
That wickedness.
Keep reading.
Was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
Okay, read verse 17.
Verse 17. I said in mine heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked.
So the place of judgment is in the earth, and he saw there was wickedness there and righteousness there. People doing what? Righteous acts. People doing wicked acts. And then where there was righteousness, there was also iniquity there. Like right now, this Isupk, this school that we have in Killeen, it's a place of what? Righteousness.
Right.
But what do we see outside of these walls? Iniquity.
Right.
People that are lawless. Right. But what do we know though? Read again from the top, verse 17.
I said in my mind heart.
Read strong,
I said in mine heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked. For there is a time that for every purpose and for every work.
The Lord determines the time. See, you think you on, let me say, I'm on demon time. Or I'm on this kind of time. You on the Lord's time.
Right.
And you think you on your time right now, but you really on the Lord's time.
Right.
You can't escape the hand of the Lord. You think you're stronger than the Lord? You got to look at the Lord as a judge, and he's not going to forget. Right. The angels is going up and down Jacob's ladder with the records, and they having counsels on how they're going to deal with the situation. That's why it's a righteous thing. It's a good thing. You should be incentivized to want to be righteous so that the Lord, even for the sake of your own kids, that the Lord will have mercy on your children, and then by having mercy on them, and have what? Mercy on you. Right. That's why the Most High says, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. But he gonna repay them that hate him to their face.
Right.
You come up, why is my life like this? Why am I going through all this hell? I don't understand. Give me 2nd Esdras, and I want you to read it. Give me 2nd Esdras chapter 14, verse 28. Why am I going through all this? And then some people will say, man, nah, man, if we were straight and everything was good, then we can serve God. We have to go through all this punishment, this pain. Nah, because when we had the kingdom and we had the power and we had the freedom, what do? We violated the Most High.
Right.
So now what we got to do? We got to go through the punishments and suffer the punishments and still serve the Most High.
Right.
We got to take the spanking and still worship the Most High and do what He said.
Right.
So you ain't got no reason to complain or say nothing, really. You crying about how you grew up and how your life was. Hey, I'm not saying that every situation means that you did something. It could have been your parents. It could have been you. Right. Either way, serve the Lord, fear God. That's the conclusion of the matter.
Right.
Yeah, give me that second Ezra 14:28. Then we'll close out with that.
Colonel Wakan, sir. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 28.
Uh-huh.
Hear these words, O Israel.
Right, he talking to our nation. Go ahead.
Our fathers at the beginning were strangers in Egypt.
We were strangers. We didn't have no family in Egypt. We went to a place, you know what I'm saying? You know, Joseph went ahead of us. The Lord set him up to be able to give us protection while he was there.
Right.
All right. Go ahead.
From whence they were delivered.
And then a Pharaoh rose up that didn't know Joseph, and we was getting oppressed. And the Lord delivered us out of that hell, out of that captivity, out of that oppression. Read.
And received the law of life.
He takes us up out of slavery and then gives us the laws of life, right? To give us rulership in the earth. Read.
Which they kept not.
Which they what?
Which they kept not.
Which we kept not. Go ahead.
Which ye also have transgressed after them.
What happened?
You have transgressed after them.
He's saying our forefathers didn't keep the law that was given to us in the wilderness. And then what do we do while we're here right now? We transgress after them. You know why? Sis, why do we transgress after them? I want to see if she's been paying attention. Our forefathers didn't keep them, the laws, right? And then after them, we transgressed. Why?
It's kind of like what you were saying earlier, the bloodline. You do what your previous person taught you how to do. You don't know no better.
But listen, we damn near 4,000 years down the line.
You're being reborn.
So you okay? She have to bring it home. So sis, they didn't keep them, and then we transgressed after them. Why?
Because you're being reborn, so you're doing the same thing that you were doing in the previous life.
Give her a hand. That's just a hand. And that's paying attention. We transgress after them because why? We are them.
Like sister in the chat said that we are them, sir.
Who said it?
Sister that got in the Charlene.
Oh, okay. All right, sis. All right. Okay. Give her a hand. You know what I'm saying? Give both sisters a hand. You understand? Most High in Christ. Because we are them. We want to sit back now and read the Bible like, I know I did when I was a kid. I did it with Judas. So I never betrayed you. I was like, man, Judas is a sucker.
Right.
And look. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Right? But the bottom line of that is that we read the scriptures now and we have the benefit of reading it like it's a story, and we tell ourselves what we wouldn't do. But then we've been violating the Most High this whole time. You understand? And then some of us come into the knowledge and it's like, man, I don't eat no pork with that tuna. Right. I mean, it got micro scales. What can Major Yana talking about? We got microscopes now. We can see his scales on there. What can Major Yana say? Our people would have saw that and threw it back in the ocean. Facts. Because we couldn't see the scales with the naked eye. Don't mess with that thing. Right. And look, I think he ain't too far. He got to be a little to the letter. See? You see? Right. you do always resist the Holy Spirit. Damn. Why Stephen tell them that? You do always resist the Holy Spirit. He ain't say you resisting the Holy Spirit right now. Right. He said you always do it. He's talking to them from before. Real talk. Salakia. Keep reading.
Verse 31. Then was the land, even the land of Zion, parted among you by lot.
What's the Lord saying? You had your kingdom. You had your inheritance. It was given to you. The land of Zion, where we're exiled from right now. He said, you had the land of Zion. It was parted to you amongst lot, an inheritance. You had your inheritance. Like Priest Abban was bringing out a few weeks ago, the law of inheritance. We have received our inheritance by law, meaning that the Lord gave us what he said he's going to give us. Right. Read.
But your fathers and ye yourselves.
Don't slow down. But your fathers and what?
And ye yourselves have done unrighteousness.
But your fathers and ye yourselves. Because why? You are your fathers.
Right.
That's why when the prophets would pray, they would say, our fathers and I, or we have sinned against you.
Right.
Because we didn't separate ourselves from them. Because why? We are them. We are them.
Right.
Keep reading.
And have not kept the ways which the highest commanded you.
Keep reading. And basically, he's telling the Lord's telling us, like, this is why you're in this condition. Because the Lord requires the things which are past. You're going to pay for it. And not just in this life. When you come back, you're going to be still paying for it. And that's the part we don't think about. That's why the Most High said, I'm faithful to 1,000 generations. He's thinking about nepotism. He's thinking about generational wealth. Y'all talk about generational wealth, about some life insurance policy. Shut up. Be quiet.
Right.
You can't scam and have financial literacy and financially literacy. Literize yourself out of this.
Right.
That sounds my favorite word. Ain't enough financial schemes to get you out from the punishments of the Lord. You understand? Because his generational wealth is in Daniel 2:44.
Right.
It's a kingdom that's not left to other people, and our kingdom will rule forever and ever and ever and ever and will never fall. That's generational wealth. Not what you're talking about. Oh, I got businesses. I got a nail business. I got other businesses, a boutique, and other businesses. Your businesses. Be quiet.
Right.
Your business should be shutting your mouth, covering your head, covering your body modestly, and learning the truth of the Most High.
Right.
And giving yourself, gaining skills and abilities to be a benefit to your people or to your husband if you choose one. That should be your business. And in that, when you read Proverbs 31, right? Because and since this ain't no Salakia, what you said earlier in the answer was, I understand why you said it. That's the prevailing thought in America. And I want to get the scriptures so I can address her kind of statement on that, because I want to show her what it means for a man to provide. Because when a lot of times they take the scripture that says, and if a man not provide not for his household, he's worse than an infidel. We're gonna read that and see if that's what he's talking about. But when you read Proverbs 31 was not written by a man. It was written by a woman, telling her son how to choose a woman, to choose a virtuous woman. And when you read about this woman, she got all the businesses.
Right.
She doing all the providing.
Right.
You know where he at, sis? She out there got real 8 businesses.
Right.
She got men servants, maid servants, and she running it. You know where her husband's at? In the gate with the elders, holding counsel. That's where the husband's at. She taking care of everything in the house. She got the servants, the money. He ain't got to think about making no money because she covering it all. She's providing financially, and he's up there. You know what he's doing? Standing there watching some sister come up and say, "This nigga ain't a brother." Go ahead, sis. Untie his shoe. And spit in his face. He up there with the elders. He's in the council with the leaders of the community. And you know what they're saying about him? This brother is blessed. His rib out there, she's virtuous. She's getting to that bag. She's up all night with the candle not going out, figuring out new ways to make him have to only focus on what? The work of the Lord.
Right.
Yeah. Y'all go read 31 again. Take your time. Don't read it how T.D. Jakes had you read it.
Right.
Women now are loose.
Good night.
I'm not getting to that. Good night. Where we at? Oh yeah, no, we'll get that later. But hold that. Yeah, read that Esdras.
We'll
get off with that.
Verse 32. And for as much as he is a righteous judge, he took from you in time the thing that he had given you.
Oh my gosh, the scriptures is just the bricks is being laid.
Right.
I said you have to think about the Most High as a righteous judge. He took from you in time. Timeline.
Right.
He took it from you in time. Not even right away. Oh, you think you got away with it? Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. It is fully set within the hearts of men to do what? Evil. because the judgment don't come right away.
Right.
But the Lord requires that which is what? Past. So in time, the thing that he gave you, he took it away. Keep reading.
Verse 33. And now you are here, and your brethren amongst you.
Now we in this condition. We in the projects. We in the apartments. We in the boot. We in the dirty, dirty South. We in the mud. We in them wards. Right? We on the reservations. We in the barrios. For my Brazilian brothers, we in them shanty houses.
Right.
Now we here. And we like, damn, man, it's like, damn, why we in this condition? When we had it all, we didn't honor the Most High.
Real talk.
So we can't say nothing. Now we here. Now we in the dust. So deep in the dirty, dirty, there lies us. You know what I'm saying? And what you see up under all that dust. That's what Wayne said, right? It's us. We in the dust. We sat as princes, and now we got brought low because we didn't respect the one that raised us up.
Right.
Keep reading.
Verse 34. Therefore, if so be that you would subdue your own understanding.
If you don't lean to your own understanding and you subdue it, because what's the temptation now that we in the punishment? I mean, I gotta get it. I gotta get it how I live. I ain't finna be going through this. You trying to escape the punishment. You want to get from under the belt. And in order to do that, what you gotta do? You gotta gain the world and do what? Lose your soul. How Satan come to Christ? Christ didn't he didn't commit no sins.
Right.
Satan came to Christ and was like, man, you see all this, the kingdoms of the world, it's mine to give. Just bow down and worship me, man. I give it all to you, brother. You'll be free.
Right.
You'll be free. Dressing fly every day, eating good, drinking good. It's all yours, man. Christ in the middle of the wilderness, fasting from water and food, 40 days.
Right.
Here comes Satan, man. Look, I give it all to you, bro. You can end this pain right now. Keep reading.
And reform your hearts.
And reform your hearts. Subdue your understanding and reform your heart. What's your heart? Your mind. Change your mind. Be renewed in your mind. Keep reading.
Ye shall be kept alive. And after death.
What?
And after death, you shall obtain mercy.
Keep reading.
Verse 35. For after death shall the judgment come.
What shall come?
The judgment come.
And what happens?
And we shall live again.
No, we're going to die and be dead forever.
And we shall live again.
After death, the what comes?
The judgment come.
And what?
And we shall live again.
And we're going to live again. Read.
And then shall the names of the righteous be manifest.
How are the names of the righteous going to be manifest? How are we going to know? What does manifest mean? To make. Go ahead. Who's going to answer? You going to answer, sis? Go ahead, sis. Yeah.
It basically means to prophesize, to believe that it's going to happen, or think it's going to happen.
No. So to make manifest means it's like how I say this. It'd be like this. Like you went to college for 4 years, right? And I don't know what your personal discipline is or what you went to school for, but okay, it'd be like say you went to school because I was a childhood educator for a while. Say you went to school for child education, right? And say an incident occurred with some kids, with some children, like say a child had a learning disability or something like that, and you was like, well, listen, you could do this, and this to the parent. Who you are and what you know is now made manifest based on what you spoke or what you said, or whatever you could actually lay down as a program. Now who you are is made manifest. We know it now because we know, oh, she's educated because of what you're able to do, right? Or what you're doing. So to make manifest means is that the names of the righteous means reputation. So when you come back, if you're doing the thing that's the right thing,
right,
we can be like, oh, you was the righteous from before.
Right.
Because you're here doing what? What you did before.
Right.
But read the other part.
And the works of the ungodly shall be declared.
Now, if you're back out here pimping, robbing, stealing, and killing, right? And then when you hear the words of the prophets and the words of the Most High, you disregard it. We know who you were before because why? Your works are declaring who you are.
Right.
This is why Christ would say, oh, you generation of vipers.
Right.
You understand? Because why? He's saying a generation. Why? Because you're doing the same things. You're coming against me because you came against the prophets who told you I was coming. You're doing the same thing that you did before. Okay. So with that, we're gonna end on the regeneration on that part. If y'all want me to do a part 2, I'll do it. But we're gonna address what the sister had was talking about what a man's supposed to provide.
Okay.
Let's get that. What chapter is that in?
1 Timothy 5 and 8.
Okay. Go up to the top. We need to read from the top. Nah. Let me see. Wait. Go down. No, show me the whole thing. Don't highlight the actual scripture. Show me the whole chapter. Okay. Go down. All right, go up. So read from verse 2. All right. Now, this scripture that talks about if a man does not provide for his own, we're going to see the context of what's being said because it's always taken out of context, and then we'll be done there. And this is just to address the idea about what a man's supposed to provide. Okay.
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 2. The elder woman as mothers, the younger as sisters with all purity.
Now, before this, it was talking about how to deal with elders, how the men above you. Rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father.
Right.
Meaning that you may have a man that's above you that's younger than you, but because of his rank that he's earned in the school, you know, if he's above you, you don't rebuke him or like try to like check him as if, you know what I mean? But you come to him as like a father, as you would your father. If your father was out of line, hey, Salagia, sir, if I could, if I could talk to you, speak to you real quick. It's about the way we, as brothers, we're supposed to deal with each other. So rebuke not an elder, but to treat him as a father. The elder women deal with them as mothers, meaning as you would talk to your mother. You wouldn't go in there yelling at your mother, disrespecting your mother. You would be kind to your mother and be respectful, right? And the younger sisters, these are sisters that are not your wives, but they're in the school, whether they have a husband or odd one or not. You treat them as you would treat your little sister. Treat them as sisters. What do you do with your sister? You protect them. You're respectful to them with all purity, right? Read.
Honor widows that are widows indeed.
Now, it's saying honor widows that are widows indeed. What's a widow? We talked about this already, right? A woman who loses her husband, that dies. Now, this is in the time of Paul when they had a school. This whole law of the brother, out the window. It's more widows than it is men. And there ain't no men marrying the wives, raising up seed to their brother. It's just widows out here. Single mothers. You understand? So honor the widows that are widows indeed, meaning that she really lost her husband through death. Not because she left her husband and now she's saying, I'm a widow. I ain't got no husband.
Right.
I don't know where he at.
Right.
Honor the widows. Give respect to them that are widows indeed. True widows. Read.
But if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home.
Meaning that if a widow has children or nephews, watch, because what they're talking about here is putting them on the bankroll. Basically putting them on the school payroll where the funds that are in the school, that you give them an allowance. Right. Like I hate to say welfare, but a stipend. So he's telling them, don't just because a woman, her husband dies, or she says she's a widow, just put her on the school's payroll, right, where you're giving her financial assistance. Verify that she's a widow indeed. And if she has children, let her learn first to show piety at home. Meaning what? She ain't bringing men into her house.
Right.
For a Netflix and chill while the kids is in the bed on their iPads eating Apple Jacks.
Right.
In the bed, up all night, watching YouTube videos of kids, watching kids play on YouTube.
Right.
While you having a Netflix and chill up in your bedroom.
Right.
Show piety at home, meaning that you're taking care of the kids well, instructing them on how they should conduct themselves, that you're teaching them how to be good children. Read.
And to requite their parents.
To requite means to pay back, meaning that you're taking care of your kids or your nephews properly, and your parents who took care of you, you're spending time taking care of them in their old age. So all your activities are not about getting a man and being happy and taking girl trips. It's about taking care of the kids properly, and then you're taking care of your parents too.
Right.
We're watching. What kind of daughter is she?
Right.
What kind of widow is she? She don't have a husband, but she's staying busy doing righteous things. Read.
For that is good and acceptable before the.
That's what God want to see when your husband died. He want to see that. Or if you so-called a single mother.
Right.
Take care of them kids. Mama got to have a life too. Good YOLO.
Damn.
You only live once. Mama got to have her fun too. So I can read.
Now that she is a widow indeed.
Now that she's a widow indeed. So these are the qualifications of a widow. Widow is. We know what a widow indeed. What does indeed mean? What are deeds, sis?
Things you do for people.
Actions. Indeed. So when you see that word like an Israelite indeed, it's talking about your actions. Because we are to what? Love indeed, not in words. Our actions should show what we are, not our words. Read.
Now that she is a widow indeed and desolate.
And desolate meaning that she's in poverty. She's doing all these righteous acts even though she's under the suffering of poverty. Read.
Trusteth in God.
Right.
And continueth in supplications and prayers night and day.
She's in poverty. She trusts the Most High. She gets counsel from the men of the Lord. And even though she's in poverty, she continues to pray to the Most High. Go ahead.
But she liveth in pleasure.
But she that liveth in pleasure. Like, say talking about this widow. That widow is a widow indeed.
Right.
It says, but she that lives in pleasure, meaning that she's a widow, but all she care about now is living her best life. You're over 40 years old and you out in the clubs all night shaking that thing,
right,
dragging that wagon into the club and making sure every man see it.
Right.
Because, you know, you want some undue benevolence. But she that live in what?
But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth.
She dead while she lived. What you saw earlier, you know what I mean? You're dead now. Your husband passed, and now you just out trying to live your best life. You're going back to being you in your second childhood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't regenerate. You went back to being a little kid again. Right. Read.
And these things give in charge.
And these what?
These things give in charge.
You know what it means to charge somebody?
It means the actual payment.
No, that's in this current society. So let me give you an example. So when Moses raised up Joshua, because when it was time for Joshua to take over as a leader, he charged Joshua, meaning he gave him an orders and an oath. Give in charge, meaning like you need to do this. You understand? Do this, and do this. You as if you're a mother, you have children. You're the oldest one in the house, right? You have to go and take care of some business. You talk to the oldest and you say to the oldest child, listen, I want the bathroom clean, the kitchen done. I got food in the oven. Warm it up for the kids, put it on the table, wash the dishes, have the kids vacuum the floor. And when I get back, it all better be clean and done. You've given them charge. You understand? It's laying, like my brother said, laying down law. But it's giving orders. All right. So now he's saying, because this person that Paul is writing to Timothy because he's writing to the heads of a school. And in the school, they have widows. So he's saying to these sisters, give them this in charge. Give the leaders of the school, the people in the school, these instructions. Read.
And these things give in charge that they may be blameless.
That they may be blameless. So they're not going to be found with blame for financing a hoe.
Right.
Right? A sister come in, my husband dead, and you just start putting her on the school's bankroll stipend, and she out there living her best life up in the club every Friday and Saturday. Ain't you part of that school? Yeah, girl. Why was we giving her? I mean, didn't we tell you how to judge who's a widow indeed? We gave you the understanding.
Right.
Why is she getting money every month? We taught you how to know them that labor amongst you, how to verify,
right?
How to be able to examine who these people are, who the sister is. Keep reading.
Verse 8. But if any provide not for his own,
but if any provide not for his own, who are his own? This is talking about the head of a school and those that are under their watch, the souls they watch after. If any provide not for his own, meaning that the sisters that are in the school that are widows indeed, if you don't provide for them, say talking about a man with his wife, read.
And especially for those of his own house.
Meaning those that are in that school who come in and attend the school and you're responsible for it, read.
He had denied the faith.
Uh-huh.
And is worse than an infidel.
Those are the things that you give in charge. That's what it means to provide. What the providing that they're talking about here is what you said earlier, sis. Spiritual. It's instruction. That's the first thing that a man provides. Look, when the Lord put Adam in the garden, the Lord provided for Adam. And what did Adam provide for Eve? Don't eat of the tree. Instructions.
Right.
That's what he provided. You dig what I'm saying? That's what he provided, instructions. And, you know, I guess that wasn't the provision that she was looking for.
Right.
She's looking for that six-figure provision. Is there any questions in the chat?
Nah, sir. No questions in the chat. Sister in the chat said do a part 2 by Rashad, sir. Other than that, to our class, no questions in the chat.
No sweat. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and end the class. How much time are we over? Dang, 20 minutes. Lucky y'all. Y'all stuck around, so don't spit. With that, I'm gonna give a courtesy salute to the brethren. Since you can remain seated for right now. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakatah. Yazim Matah, Sar, turn face the sisters. Sisters, you can stand. Let's do this. All right. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shemal, the third by Shem Yahushua. Put your hand over your chest. Yahweh, Shamar, Alatan, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. What we said to you is, may the Lord watch over you and keep you in the name of Yahweh Shai or Christ. And you said it back to us, okay? And it's now Yazim Matah, class dismissed. Appreciate y'all coming out, man.